The Fifth Doctor and his companions are stuck in Beyond, a prison on an isolated planet reserved for the worst of the worst criminals. But does this story belong in the worst possible prison? It's the Great Beyond.
Yeah, it's a six-parter, which the Fifth Doctor never had on TV. We've had a couple on audio now,
Hmm.
but they're certainly a bit more of a rarity, aren't they? A rare
Yes.
treat. And, I think when six-parters pop up, people often ask the question, could this have been a four-part? Does the story need to be this long? And often I will jump to the defense of six-parters. I love my long-form storytelling at Big Finish. They've done some wonderful things in recent years. I'm loving the switch up to that more longer format. But a story like this comes along and you think, you know what? Maybe it could have been a four-parter.
Yeah, this was a tricky one because it's written by James Kettle, who wrote for Blazing Hour, which is a wonderful Fifth Doctor audio and
Mm.
really explores, the vulnerability of, the Doctor and Turlo and really utilizes her characters. And I think with this being set in a prison and, the isolation these characters had, you think it would really play with that. And it doesn't really do that until, I guess, of episode six for the Doctor, where you get sort of more of a vulnerable side to him.
Hmm. Yeah, it's a very different story from what I was expecting.
Mm.
Like, I don't think the cover quite gives off the vibe that the story ends up going for.
No, you're expecting a sort of a straightforward sort of prison story, but it's not that. I
Mm.
guess it reminded me a little bit like Kinder, how it's a very different thing with like Ivan being like, one of the characters from Kinder in a way, sort of going mental
Yeah,
from.
he's the governor of
Mm,
this prison, but he's not quite as in charge as the characters may be led to believe. Uh,
'cause you've got
it,
the princesses, these little
mm.
droids.
Oh, I love those.
They're a
I
great little
think
addition.
the flirtation between one of them and the
Yes.
doctor was rather wonderful, actually. I love when they put Peter Davison's doctor in those positions because he's so awkward about it.
Well,
Yeah.
there's a bit in episode six when he's referred to as an old married couple, and he's like, "No," within it with one of the supporting characters, which is quite fun.
Yeah. I think, it's trying to do some interesting stuff with the companions as well. Tegan in
I
particular.
I think Tegan in particular, but I think Adric and Nissa feel like they're left on the wayside. I feel like they're barely in it.
They're sometimes mouthpieces for
Yeah.
plot at times. And they're sometimes split off from the main characters, less for their own sake, and more just to reveal something over the course of an episode that could have been easily revealed a bit quicker.
hmm
Eh,
So I think there's some great ideas like the virus and with the zombies. That's all quite
mm,
cool, and the darkness. So there's some nuggets of gold within it. It's those nuggets are spread across six episodes, and it just
yeah.
takes forever to get these moments where you're like, oh, that's neat.
Yeah, there is some brilliant world building throughout this. I think it sets the scene for an interesting little galaxy of its own. But yeah, just the story that ends up being involved in doesn't always hit as hard as I would like it to. I love the way it plays with the topic of existential dread. Like,
Yes.
that fear of there being nothing at the end of our lives. What if, you know, it's such a huge concept, eternal nothingness. How do you even comprehend that? And I think this story is trying to play with that, and it at times it does get it down really well. It just, yeah, it doesn't quite hit it often enough. The pacing feels a little bit off, and ultimately, I just look at it and think, you know what, maybe it could have been a four-parter. We could have got a nice little two-parter as well, and it could have been a stronger box set for it, which I hate to say because I know
We
how
like
it
a long
I
form
know how it
storytelling.
feels to be on the end of it where I love a six-parter and someone says, yeah, it would have made a better four-parter though, wouldn't it? It's
Yeah,
like, I mean, sometimes yes, and I'll still love it as a six-parter.
yeah.
But yeah, I don't. Yeah,
But
yeah,
we're going even longer for the next Fifth Doctor box set, aren't we?
yeah, we are. We're going up to 12 parts now. So
Which this box set kind of ends on a cliffhanger for it. Not major. I don't think you need to listen to this to enjoy.
no, I mean everything you need to know you get from the synopsis for Hooklight anyway in the
Yeah.
upcoming 12-parter. But yeah, I mean, as it is, I think if you can only afford one Fifth Doctor box set from this year, go for the
Dream
Dream
Team.
Team instead. That of the two, that's the highlight for me.
Yeah. This one was just a little bit sad, to be honest.
Hmm. All right. I quite liked the way it ended.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
feel like
yeah.
that was quite clever, a little bit different.
Yeah, a nice little character moment with the Doctor with like a theme of,
Mm,
Antiguaness. So that's some nice stuff there.
yeah, I was sort of surprised by it by the second half of part six. I was like, oh, they're really going here. This is interesting.
I think that's when the story got going, but you're like, oh, it's done now. Like
Mm,
it feels like a treat to get to like all about some nice
yeah,
stuff.
just feels like, oh, I wish we could have got to that a bit quicker.
Yeah, that's
Mm,
the big thing, my big takeaway with this one.
yeah. So, Great Beyond, all right, but
I mean,
yeah, it's just when you look at the prices of a Big Finish box set these days, you sort of want a little bit more along with this.
mhm.
Yeah. When it's just a six-parter that you're paying for, you want something that'll blow you away,
Mhm.
and this one didn't quite do that for me. So that's where I stand on it.
Yeah, I'm very
Uh,
much in agreement.
hmm. Yeah, I mean, are we wrong? Is this the best story Big Finish has ever produced? If you are a die-hard Great Beyond defender, please dive into the comments and
Let us
write an
know.
essay for us explaining why this is why we're wrong, really.
Hmm.
Yeah, or just voice your opinions either
Mm.
way on Great Beyond. Sound off in the comments below. Please subscribe if you have enjoyed, and we shall see you next time. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye bye.